as long as I can remember, I've always had a passion for history, sacred sites of the world, and the people who call these places home. Join me as we take a tour through time and discover what healing powers, secrets, and legends these sites and the land they're built on contain. Hello, and welcome to another vlog episode of Joanna's Time Travels. Today I have the pleasure of being in the Chateauguay Historic National Park, where a pretty quintessential battle was fought at the height of the War of 1812, where a group of Canadian soldiers and militiamen and native men, I suppose, and women took their stand against the invading American armies. So to look at it today, as you can see behind me, it's really a really peaceful field with nothing more than some park benches and a historic log home, as you can see in the background. Some beautiful trees, the birds are chirping, it's a gorgeous day outside. But the intense feeling that I'm getting specifically from the ground, I'm going to back up a little bit here so I can show you what I'm doing, is one of, I want to use the word despair, but urgency is a better word. So urgency and determination. And a lot of people ask me, why do I come to so many battlegrounds and forts and military sites? And the reason is because a lot of these lands really need the healing. They really need the healing. They call me this morning, and as I got out of bed, I couldn't wait to get here. I was driving faster probably than I should have been, but I really couldn't wait to get here when I get the call to come to places to explore, to understand further, to, you know, be of service and help. I really can't say no. So once again, I'm here in the let's say like southern part of Quebec, but the township, I guess, of Beauharnois. And this was really quite a different space. It's right along the banks of the Chateauguay River, and this watershed was really important during the time when the lines were being drawn between America and Canada, between the French and between the English. So this land, I feel, contains a lot of energy of exactly that. And I feel strongly that if we're going to move forward, you know, as a collective community, what's really important for all of us is to pay attention to Mother Earth and to pay attention to the energy that she holds, because there is so much wisdom contained within and so much healing that we can all help to do. So that's really what this vlog is all about, is understanding, you know, that time really doesn't exist, and we can jump into any portal, any dimension, any, you know, really time frame that we wish to understand a little bit further more about, and ask how we can be of service if that's really of interest to you. That's really why I started this blog, was to help people understand how they can heal the energy even in your own backyard, underneath your house, underneath, you know, where you live, wherever, however we can be of service to help heal Mother Earth and rebalance your energies, then I'm all for it. So a little prayer I like to use, it goes something like this. Before I start any project, before I go anywhere or do these vlogs, if this is of interest to you, then I always ask permission first. So I always ask permission from the land, from, you know, the powers that be, the energies, and you will get a clear yes or no. I mean, there's places we're permitted to go at certain times, and I really believe that places that we don't have any business going. And if you feel a really intense positive vibe and you feel like, yeah, I gotta go there, then honor that, but always ask permission. And if it feels like meh or no, or you maybe even feel like you're trespassing or you shouldn't be stepping in a certain area, then honor that as well. For example, when I showed up here today, I did ask for permission, but I started to wander around the pavilion that, you know, hosts the interpretive center, let's say, and I got around the back and I got this weird feeling and I was like, okay, I'm not supposed to be back here. So I got out of there ASAP. And I think that, you know, it's really important to honor your intuition, but it's also really important to be respectful of the places that you're in, because energy doesn't lie, and we want to make sure that you're safe as well. So going forward, so this is a prayer I like to use. I always, of course, as I mentioned before, ask for permission and sit in a nice comfortable space as I'm sitting right here, and I get into my heart space, and I might call in the energy perhaps of Reiki healing, get into my oneness spirit, and I say something along the lines of Mother, Father, God, benevolent beings of all directions of time and space, I request that you be present today to assist in any kind of healing and rebalancing that needs to take place. I'm forever grateful and thank you so much for this opportunity. So something like that. You can also bless the space ahead of time too. You can also say, God bless this space. May the light be able to enter here, this space. You know, you can state your intention. You can call in whoever you want to work with as well. If some of you work with angels, or some of you work with spirit guides, or, you know, anything, any kind of faction of spirit helpers, for sure, call them in. But that's a simple prayer I use for myself. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to show you a quick land healing technique, and I hope you can see my hand. I'll back up a little bit here. But basically what I like to do is I like to just place my hands on the ground. Go over here like this, like that. Place my hands on the ground, get into my heart space, and offer up a nice little prayer to Mother Earth to be able to transmute what's in my heart and the love that's in my heart and the healing that's in my heart to the planet. So every little bit helps. So you don't have to be at a historical site. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do it in my method. But even just placing your hands, like I said, just on the ground firmly like this, with the intention of love, of healing, sending support and restoration and balance to Mother Earth, sends out beautiful waves to the rest of the world, and who knows where that energy might end up. So the way I see it is, the more love we put into Mother Earth, the more she can disperse it to the people that need it. So who knows where those rays might go. The rays might go into the ground today and then, you know, show up, for example, somewhere in New York underneath somebody else's house that really needs the love and support. So for me, I feel like we all live on this planet, and this is part of the reason why I do what I do, is to help heal Mother Earth, to help her rebalance so that we can all rebalance. We live on her. So I figure that every little bit helps, and whew, those mosquitoes, everything serves their purpose, and the more we do, then the more we can all feel better. Is there anything other than that that's better? And it's so easy and it's free. So you just put your hands on the ground with the intention of healing, and poof, voila, that's it. That's all. So if you'll permit me a few moments here, I'm just going to do a little channeling of the space to see if I can understand a little bit more of what's going on here while I'm sending some Reiki to the land. This place is actually intensely peaceful, in the sense that it's very quiet, and there's a large level of acceptance of energy acceptance that is coming through right now. It's almost like they are welcoming me here, whoever they are, the ancestors, I suppose. that were here before, a large level of, as I mentioned before, you know, urgency to defend, to display honor. I talk about honor a lot, and I feel like there's a lot of honor here, and that often happens, I find, for me in military areas where, you know, their conviction was so strong, the people that were here before, that's really what comes through. But there's a large level of just oneness, acceptance, peacefulness, things aligning, so an alignment. Directly behind me here down the embankment is the Chateauguay River, which was a huge source of you know, transportation for a lot of people for a long time, coming in from the St. Lawrence and back and forth from Toronto. And this waterway was very important to a lot of people as they navigated goods and, you know, supplies and people and settlers that came through. So there's almost like an energy super highway here behind me, that way, this way, down the embankment, and I can really feel a rushing of energy, similar to what I feel sometimes with feng shui. Is I feel like there's energy, an energy corridor where there's a lot of energy rushing by. But it's not malevolent or untoward or anything like that. I actually feel like it's just like people going about their day-to-day business, and that's what it feels like. It's just day-to-day business here, and the energy is really, I feel like it's transmuting underneath my fingers. It's different from when I got here, so it's kind of hard to do this on video where things are shifting and changing as I go along here. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I really feel like I am on a timeline. I feel like I'm on it in a, for lack of a better term, an energy tunnel, where I'm kind of seeing all of the people that were here beforehand. So I'm getting glimpses of the nomadic tribes, of the sedentary tribes, of the settlers, of the pioneers, of the coureurs de bois, of the voyageurs, of the militiamen, of the people right up until today. So I just sort of feel like I'm zooming along this energy corridor. It's pretty wild, of the imprints, the footprints that have come before me. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. Let me just check here to see if there's anybody else that wants to say anything. The only thing I can smell in my nose pretty strongly as well, I'm trying to utilize all my senses here, but what I can smell in my nose is campfire. And so let's see what that means. Okay, so the message I just got, it seems like a native man that is standing behind me over here, sorry, left hand side, and I just heard all is well. All is well. Hey, good. You know, it's really important to listen to the land as much as you can, as best as you can, and ask permission, because, you know, sometimes we're not needed. You know, we think we're really important as humans. We think the work we're doing is so amazing and so important and stuff. And sometimes Mother Earth can do her own thing. And sometimes the ancestors can do their own thing, and we don't need to interfere. We just need to, quote unquote, hold the space. And that is the predominant feeling I feel today, is that's what I'm called to do, to be here to do, is to hold the space. So here we are, holding the space. Oh my gosh, can I just tell you why I love doing this time travel vlog so much? It's incredible to me how much wisdom is in the land, is in buildings, is in people, is in places, is in our world, that there is to know and to learn and to explore and to understand. And I truly believe that we cannot know where we're going until we understand our past, and that is like the epitome of why I do what I do, because it's just so fascinating to me how much energy and love and information the ancestors want to share with us. It's just so freaking cool. So this is the place where before I was talking about how the energy was really different. And you can see behind me here, case in point, I still feel that feeling of, no, I don't need to be there, I'm trespassing. The energy feels a little bit off. And you know, as I mentioned earlier in the video, there's some places we can totally go. I was sitting over there by the tree before and everything was fine. It was peaceful. I was channeling. Everything was good. And then right behind me here, don't ask me what happened exactly, but it really feels like right back there, there's something kind of strange going on. You know, sometimes there's vortexes that are female vortexes that suck in, and sometimes there's vortexes that push out that are male vortexes. And I mean, it could be a female vortex where the energy is just very draining for a lot of people, and that's really the first thing that's coming to mind right now is an energy vortex. But there's also places where energetically we don't have permission to go sometimes, so I'm going to steer clear of this area here, but I'm just going to give you a little glimpse of it. But I don't know, today there's something going on there that maybe it's just not the time for me to be there, or maybe it's just not something I need to meddle in. You know, I did what I did when I was here with what I could do, I did. But maybe just that area is just none of my business, so we're gonna leave that alone for today and move on. So at the end of your visit, if you decide to come here, or you decide to, you know, go to different sites and check out the energy, it's always nice at the end to say thank you, right? So I'm just going to take a minute here to say thank you to this space, say thank you to the ground, say thank you to the trees and to the buildings. Thank you. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the permission to be here and to hear your stories. Thank you for your healing. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, magic and spirit are everywhere in the world, if only we have the eyes to see it.